Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the case may be, wherever you are in this bright, beautiful world we call home. This is Cross-Examinations. I am your host, Mike S. Miller. I am a 20-something year Bible-believing Christian. I am not a pastor, not a priest, not a apologetics teacher per se, not, I don't know, just a dude who's been reading the comics for a couple decades now. Reading comics. The Bible. Reading the Bible. I don't know why I was thinking about comics. Because I'm a comic book artist. That's why. Comic book artist and creator. I have written and illustrated many comics over the same time span. Actually, a larger time span, about 26 years now. And so that all to say hello and welcome, my friends and friends and fans and family alike. Meep, meep, cough, cough, in a disguise says. In a disguise, meep, meep, cough, cough. Good afternoon, Muddle. Brant, what's up, Cousin Brant? Cousin Brant is on the line. Subscribed. Hi, I'm a virgin to this channel. Be gentle. Are you, or are you just in a disguise? First time here, Dank Plank. Really? Wow, lots of new people. Well, welcome one and all. So you know how this works. I will generally go back to the previous episode and look through the comments, and if there are any comments that need answering, then I answer them. This is sort of an apologetics show. I called it Black Friday Live because it's Black Friday. And wow, last night my wife gave me the idea to do a Black Friday sale on my Indiegogo. It's in the description right now if you want to check it out. And yeah, wow, woke up to a surprising amount of new sales on my Indiegogo book. But this show is not about shilling. I just wanted to express my gratitude to my wife and to all the fans out there who are grabbing up the comics that I have for sale on my Indiegogo right now. So thank you, one and all. And thank you all for being here. Aloha, aloha, aloha. Please do hit that like button. There's only 13 people in here now. We'd like to get a few more people in here to share the love, share the experience. So share. More important than the like button is the share button. You know, anybody who would enjoy a show on just talking Bible, talking apologetics, answering questions, etc., etc. Like the new shirt. Oh, my jacket. My mom got me this sweatshirt. Oh, this is a different thing. Yeah, she spent way too much on this thing, but she did get it on sale. It's like a, hoodie, but it's like lined like the inside of a nice jacket. It's crazy. So, hey, Stanley, I'm new here. So, yeah, I don't know. Well, welcome. How are so many new people here? This is crazy. What brought you in to today's show? And again, there's only 15 of you. Is that right, or is my thing not tracking correctly? Let me open up the other window. Yeah, 15. Crazy. Yeah, usually we have a much... Oh, my Lone Star shirt. All right. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, man, I need to get myself like a dozen of those. So you pop that back up here. And yes. I'll be sure to ask. Sure, I'll ask my subscribers. Oh, seeing you on EBS. Oh, right on. Cool. Thank you. This is my attachment with Comicsgate. It's my okay. And with Edwin and Tug. Right on, right on, right on. Hey there. Welcome to Cross-Examinations. It's good to see y'all here today. And let's grab up our last episode's comments so that I may begin. answering some questions. Need Lone Star bomber jackets one day. Oh, that would be so dope. Christ Energetics. That would be so sick. I would dig that the most. One comment. 226 views last episode. One comment. Agree on the denominations bit. Crocodile Waters says. All right, so I'm going to skip to the end of last. It was, we didn't do one yesterday because it was Thanksgiving. And yes, we did have a great Thanksgiving. It was great to see you, Brant. It was great to see everybody in the familia. Oh, I can't pop this out after the fact? Oof. Okay. I don't want to. All right, let me drag this one over here because I don't want to crane my neck just to answer questions. Oops, and I don't want this all the way at the top either. Come on, why is this not? There we go. Crazy. I'm crazy. All right, back. I'm going to start at the end of last Wednesday. Wednesday, this past Wednesday. My sketchbook 340 was asking the name of the ex-Muslim guy I was talking about. It is Walid Shubat, Walid Shobat. Walid Shubat. Easily findable on YouTube. He's got some great prophetic, prophecy-based exegesis on the end times. So yeah, please check that out. Jesse Miller says, on Futurama, God said, if he does his job properly, you'll never know he did anything at all. Well, Futurama is not exactly gospel. Michael Strelitz says, good is good, bad is bad. I am good. No religion, but I know what is right from wrong. Well, Michael, this concept that people know inherently good from evil, I mean, yeah, we do have a conscience, but that begs the question: where does that conscience come from? Because if we didn't have a conscience, and gosh darn it, the conscience, unfortunately, can oftentimes and is oftentimes overwhelmed by cultural norms, right? So you grow up, the culture telling you that child sacrifice is good. It'll override your conscience, and you will believe that child sacrifice is good. That has been the cultural norm in many, many cultures over humanity's existence. Yeah, disgusting, horrible ritual practice, which our cultural norms, a culture, mind you, shaped by 2,000 years of Christian thinking and belief, would say that child sacrifice is wrong. However, the media, education, whatnot, have been pushing another lie for the past 30-odd years, that baby sacrifice is just fine, right? Murdering unborn children, even though your naked conscience might scream out at the injustice of it, if you have been properly indoctrinated by the media and culture writ large, you think that that's okay because you know good from evil without God. No. Cultural norms skew what is the truth of our conscience, to a point where men will shove children into furnaces. The depravity of man is such that our consciences are so easily manipulated and skewed that A lot of us will believe in communism. 100 million people dead in the last century alone based on one atheistic dogma, doctrine, whatever you want to call ideology. And a lot of us will not me, but a lot of us will be so indoctrinated that I mean, gosh, I read a tweet from some moron that said, "Hey, you know how we get rid of guns? We murder 100,000 gun owners." I'm sure this is a guy who thinks he knows good from evil, right? But he's so lost the true parameters of what is good and what is evil that this is actually a suggestion that comes out from his mouth, not in a private conversation, broadcasting it to the world on social media. You say you know right from wrong without God. I posit that that is impossible in any culture that has given up on God, because cultures will. You've got babies being raped in Africa as a cultural norm right now. You've got people being enslaved in the Middle East, in Asia, as cultural norms. Gosh, the cultural norms that you and I in America consider absolutely morally repugnant, but are just baseline normative behaviors around the world, it would turn your stomach. I don't even want to go into all of them. And sorry, but you've been so desensitized to the idea that killing, maybe not you, but so many in this country have been so desensitized to the murdering of unborn children that the idea of good and evil doesn't even cross people's minds anymore. So no, I'm sorry, Michael. You have a subjective view of what is good and what is bad, and without an objective source of good or evil, then what you consider good or bad literally has no meaning, because it is your personal subjective concept, right? So happy Thanksgiving. Matt says life in this age is like life in the patriarchs, looking forward to the promises but working for the good and benefit of all your neighbors. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Matt. Thank you. I was focused as a statement as a whole. One is whole and what? I don't understand that question. Catholic Rob says many in the Middle East read the Bible as poetry, while others interpret the Bible in other ways. It's really an interesting book. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather they read it as poetry than not read it at all, because to some of those people, it will reach into their hearts and grab them, and they will understand the truth when they read it, when they see it. So, oh, that was like an hour ago, man. You need to turn on live chat. The Muslim Nazis, is that real? They ever fight anyone? I don't know. I think they might have been stationed in like Turkey or something. I don't know. I'd have to go back and research it again. But yes, the Muslim Nazi regiment was real. It was led by the Grand Mufti from, I think he was from Palestine at the time. So maybe Turkey. Gosh darn it. I really should go back and reevaluate. Casey Izawa says a bit of shifting there on the apostle issue, but I still love you. Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing a clear suggestion of what we were talking about. All right. Let me see if anyone new has anything to add to what we're saying. All right, 33 people watching now. Again, if you could like, but more importantly, if you could share this out, Twitter, Facebook, personal messages, you know, throw it into somebody's DM or Messenger, whatever. Let's get some more people in here so that we can share with one another. Da, 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 da. My sketchbook, gonna order next paycheck. You should do a giveaway for one of your 24 daily live streams. 24. Oh, do a giveaway for one of your daily live streams. Oh. Yeah. Gosh darn it, I should do more giveaways, huh? I should. Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving, you and your family. Yeah, Brett. Oh, I think I already read that. Last time I seen you, I think you were going out dancing. Yes. That video is on Twitter somewhere. So Abacus Mike on Twitter if you want to look it up. My sketchbook. Love the Thanksgiving family pick on Twitter. Thank you. Comrade Bernfried Putin Axel Wheeler. Blacklist Universe. Will Lone Star be available here in Germany in the future? Because Batman got boring. Marvel is stupid in general, and I'm out of ideas. Comrade Bernfried. Here's the trick. There's swastikas in Lone Star. So, I mean, you can order the one that has no swastikas. Actually, there's no swastikas on the covers, except for one. But no, that's not a cover offered in this Lone Star. There's swastikas on the inside, and I know that those are illegal in Germany. I'll sell them to you, but it's up to you whether or not you take care of that. So yeah, I'll sell them to Germany. Actually, oh shoot, that's all right. I was gonna see if I could send all of them to my niece in Germany to actually ship them out to the different European customers. But now I remember there will be swastikas in that package, so I probably don't want to get her in trouble. Sketchbook, I'm studying his videos. Will report soon. Sounds good. Referring to Waleed Shuba. Somehow or another, we've lost 2 viewers. I'm sad. 31 watching now. Come on, guys. Let's do some loving and some sharing. Get some old peeps up in here. While I get back to your questions. P Money, do you ever wear a cross or a shirt that has Jesus stuff on it? I don't know if I've ever seen you wear one. Why or why not? I don't wear jewelry except for my ring. I have worn, yeah, I have a couple. How many Christians? Actually, that one, I don't think I have any new ones except for my pray, obey. I have a prayer shirt. Gosh, what happened to my Jesus shirt? My wife might have gotten rid of it because it got too old. But I've had a few. I just, yeah. You know, shirts get old, they get thrown away. I generally tend to get shirts as gifts. I don't like spending money on T-shirts unless, like, it's something that piques my interest. Like, I got this from a ramen restaurant in New York because I went there twice. The ramen was delicious, and I wanted a shirt. Hugh Hoyland, The Gospel According to Futurama. Yeah, I wouldn't, yeah, don't go there. Futurama's fun and all, but we bit on the sacrilegious side sometimes, I guess. Victor the Ripper, if you were to do that, he would be too much like a hero. What? P Money. Oh. Comrades, some mental illness or brain damage can disable your ability to divine good from evil. Where does that leave divine guidance? Where does it leave divine guidance? Well, I would say that those who are incapable of divining good from evil because of brain damage and whatnot, mental illness, I don't know. God will judge them fairly. As for guidance, yeah, I don't know. That's a great question, buddy. But where does that leave divine guidance? I would suppose they would need to be filled with the Holy Spirit. That would certainly help. All things are possible through Christ. So if someone has mental health issues yet are mentally capable of accepting the Holy Spirit into their hearts, I could see that would help them to make right choices. But yeah, that's a tough question. That's a tough question. There are human arguments that can crush abortion legal standing, says my sketchbook. Actually, yeah, I've been pro-life since years before I became a Christian, because I was pro-choice, and I told my father, who again was agnostic, not a religious guy, and he's like, "Why are you pro-choice?" I'm like, because it's I'm young and I'm dumb, and it's what everybody's saying is cool, right? Which is the truth, but what most people won't say out loud, because you're young, you're dumb, and everybody says it's cool. And he says, well, let's approach this logically. Do you know when life begins? And I said, no, not really. And he said, is it logical then to err on the side of life? And I'm like, yeah. He said, well, there you go. It was like the most simple, logical, escape-proof box, right? If you have a box, there may or may not be a baby kitten or a puppy inside the box. Do you crush the box with a sledgehammer? No, you don't, because there might be a life in there. There might be a puppy or a kitten in there. Well, do you know, and I mean, science, I'm not going to get into the scientific issue. Yes, life begins at conception by the scientific definition of the word life. But that's another point. This is all just being practical and applying reason and logic to the question of abortion. Do you know if that thing inside of your belly is alive? No. Is it logical and reasonable to err on the side of life? Yes. There is no other answer to that question. If you don't know if something is alive, you don't just kill it, because it is your baby. It is your child. You err on the side of life. Logical, reasonable. Religion need not apply. This isn't even faith. This is reason and logic. Unfortunately, I would say a majority of people in this country are not reasonable or logical, but hey guys, hey Retro Graphics, welcome to the party. Brant says that is stupid, that's murder. That is true. No, that guy is just crazy. I don't know who you meant, comrade. Okay, again, I take a while to answer things, so if you're new here, if you have a comment about something I'm saying, please don't comment on it like you're responding to me immediately. Mention what the heck I've been talking about in relation to your comment. Like, RE, gun control, never get rid of guns. Whatever. Just because it can take me 10, 15, and the longer this gets, it could take me 20 minutes to answer, and then I'll be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So then I'll just skip past your notification. Unless you super chat me, I'll read it right away. Retro Graphics says never get rid of guns. Just look what they did for Cook County. Oh, that guy was just crazy. Yeah, with the guns thing. Okay. Context. See, there we go. In a disguise says there's no divine. I disagree. P Money, I see that. Sketch therapy. My congregation. Sorry, I'm late. What did I miss? Oh, not much sketch. You can go back and check it out later. Brant, that guy has some serious issues. Yeah, right. Hey man, Cook County is not that bad. At least we're not Detroit. Oh. Yes, Brant, you are absolutely correct. It is sad and horrible that children are being raped, turned into murderers. It is a crime against humanity. It is. It's heartbreaking. A wig. Was there a plan for the approximately 52.9 million other gun owners in the U.S.? I don't think the plan would have gone according to his plan, because that's how you start a civil war. You start murdering people for owning guns. You either have to murder all of them, or they're going to take over. I'm sorry, we're going to take over, because gun owner. In a disguise, I am of the opinion that man made God. I am of the opinion that man has made gods, but that only the one true God has made man. I could get into the argument of that, but if I have time, I'll come back to it. If you killed puppies in a dog's womb and sold the parts, PETA would be outraged, even though some dogs attack their puppies. You are 100% correct. You can be imprisoned in a federal prison for years, if not decades, for killing an embryo inside of a bald eagle's egg. Wait, is that alive? It hasn't hatched. There are some inconsistencies in our law. Muftis are real, yes. Hello, I've been hoping to catch one of these chats. Kusameti, welcome. Welcome. Glad you're here. Human sacrifices never made sense. You can say that, Comrade Burnfried. And from our perspective, they certainly did not. But they were still part and parcel of a great number of societies on our planet. Aztecs, Mayans, who were the people that attacked Rome? Hannibal's people. Gosh darn it. I can't remember the name of them. But there were great, a lot of societies around, in and around Lower Europe, Middle East. I don't know, probably even the rest of Europe. Did Celts have human sacrifice? It was really common. No, it didn't make sense to us in our modern culture that, again, has been shaped by 2,000 years of Christian thinking, right? 2,000 years of Christian thinking is why you believe that human sacrifice is wrong. If you grew up in the Middle East, 2,000 years plus ago, you might have a totally different perspective. Shared on Twitter, thank you. What is your opinion on atheists? Victor the Ripper asks. I think atheists should stop being atheists. I have lots of atheist friends, several atheist fans on here come on and ask fun questions. I myself was raised agnostic. And so, as long as they're not hateful and belligerent. I enjoy discussing things with atheists probably more than I do discussing them with other Christians, because I don't know, echo chambers kind of bore me. So I'd rather talk to somebody with whom I disagree, um, than on a friendly level, not necessarily like going back and forth on Twitter or something like that. But no, I love all my atheist friends. I just wish they would believe on Christ. I wish everyone would believe on Christ. We could all be one great big family, brothers and sisters. TJM says, what? I don't know why. What are we thankful for this year at all? Oh my goodness, comrade. I am thankful for so much. I'm thankful for the Comicsgate community who has pulled my butt out of the fire financially, who has given me hope for my creative ambitions, my dreams. Obviously, I'm thankful for my family, my wonderful, wonderful wife, my beautiful, crazy, awesome children, my mom, my brothers, my home. That San Diego has not yet fallen into the sea, although under the new governor it just might. I don't know. I'm thankful for our president. Most of all, of course, I'm thankful to God, but I thank him every day, every morning, every afternoon, every evening. So, so much to be thankful for. It's hard to. I could go on a 24-hour live stream and just keep being thankful for stuff. And that is the key to happiness. Gratitude. Gratitude is the key to happiness. It doesn't matter if you have a rock for a pillow and newspapers for sheets. If you're thankful, you're happy. It doesn't matter if you live in a $10 million mansion gilded with gold and rubies and diamonds, and you're unsatisfied and ungrateful. You're miserable. Gratitude is happiness, or at least the source of happiness. How to be happy? Be thankful for what you have, and be thankful to the one who gave it to you. All right. Comrade Burnfield says, "Oh, swastikas. I don't give a damn about our stupid fear of our history. Make the Windows logo out of it." Share that right there. Brent, Mike, what do you think about Swamp Thing getting a TV series? It's going to be great. Brant, we don't. This is just about Christianity on this show. I have lots of other live shows where we talk about comics and stuff. So, Liam says when he sees cross-examination, he gets excited. Haha, right on. Wearing a cross or drawing it and worshiping the objects are two different things. You can make any statue worshiping it's idolatry. Yes. He returned to the Terrasana. If they have brain damage, Liam says, if they have brain damage, all they need to do is follow the Bible, even if they thought it was evil. The book is pretty clear. It's all about faith. Mustard seed. Why would you follow the Bible if you thought it was evil? That doesn't make sense. What are you talking about, comrade? I'm mental and I'm Christian, but not as mental as those who slandered me, and I thought I would back down for a millisecond. Turn the other cheek, Sketch. Turn the other cheek. God says in his word, no one's sin caused their health issues, whether physical or mental. God says they were born this way to display his glory. Remember the man born blind. Yeah, well, the man born blind was nobody's sin caused it. But say you contract syphilis and go insane from that. That is a direct result of sin, either yours or if you're married the sin of your wife. So I mean, yeah, there are repercussions to sin. You know, the Bible doesn't, God through the Bible doesn't give us this book of rules to make life hard or to make life not fun enough. He gives us the rules in the scriptures so that we can be healthy, happy, and wise. I mean, you know, it's for our benefit that he said don't eat shellfish, even though I love shellfish and I can't eat it because now I'm allergic to it. But it's for our benefit. For our benefit. He says not to eat pork, right? Because both of those things can have parasites in them, um, bacteria in them, parasites, things that if you do not prepare them properly can literally kill you, can make you sick, can cause you know, prolonged health issues. So those are just the very simple examples. I'm gonna sodomy. I'm not casting aspersions, but go talk to a doctor. That can cause health issues, especially if you're not in a monogamous relationship. Um, Eating out of earthen vessels, right? Cooking in earthen vessels repeatedly, like I'm sure many cultures have done. It's a petri dish for bacteria, right? Can make you sick. The rules in the Bible are about keeping a people healthy, happy, and wise. So yeah, I know people say, oh, but man, it's fun. This is fun. That's fun. Sin is fun for a season. Then there's a price to pay, you know? It's like yeah, there's rules. Basic instructions before leaving Earth. There's rules. There's rules. And the rules are not there for God's benefit. The rules are there for our benefit. So yeah. Anyways, God's agreed about life starts at conception. Well, I'm glad you agree because it's the scientific definition. I could drag up the scientific definition of life. It's metabolizing, growth, reproduction, which obviously allowed to develop on its own course. Reproduction is an early stage of the development, not literally like reproducing, but reproductive organs and all that stuff. It's all right there. Conception lays the blueprint for everything, and that's the spark of and the beginning of life. When you start to get into, well, you know, life has a different meaning, it's like, you know, you're getting into theology, you're getting into philosophy, um, you're getting into a whole lot of speculation and conjecture. According to science, if you want to have a definition of life, according to science, it begins at conception, like it or not. Any woman that would kill their own baby doesn't deserve to be a mother. Well, in a disguise, that's what I'm talking about. It's like so many people are just indoctrinated and brainwashed into thinking it's just a clump of cells, right? It's a clump of cells. Scrape it off. It's like cutting a tumor off your skin. It's a parasite. They're taught all of this bull crap that yeah, right and wrong. If left to your own devices and you thought, oh, I have a life going inside of me, is it right or wrong to kill that life? Wipe away all of your your media and indoctrination and training away from right and wrongness. Your conscience would say, yeah, it's your freaking baby, you don't kill it, that is wrong. But again, culture way too often erases conscience, and it's horrible to see. 70 million unborn children. since Roe versus Wade was passed. In this country alone. In Brazil, it's worse. Around the world, I can't even fathom the probably over 1 billion, maybe more, babies have been aborted in the last 2 generations. Well, if you count a generation as 40 years, 1 generation, right? Oh my goodness. It's heartbreaking, but culture erases conscience. So that's why you want a culture rooted in objective truth, right? In objective morality. So you don't have this subjective morality crap that just leads you right down the toilet into hell. Sorry, it makes me sad. In the Old Testament, the right to kill your children was removed. You talked about it before and said employees, slaves should be treated like family. Yep. Sounds nuts, but when I was in a very dark place mentally, I needed help. Me being Christian didn't help. I went to the old gods, and that helped me to get myself out of it. Wow, that sounds like a really deep conversation we should have, man. The old gods and the new. Your being Christian didn't help. I don't know. I don't know how you applied your being Christian, man. You can be a man of faith and still be ice cold logical scientist. Yes. Downriver from Detroit. Taylor here. Ooh. Downriver from Detroit doesn't sound pleasant. Bald eagle paradox. TJM, the Constitution needs to be altered to allow for the rights and or recognition of life in the womb. It's not the Constitution. It's a court case. What needs to happen, and I can't remember who it was, one of the justices, I believe that ruled on Roe versus Wade. I may be getting this wrong because it's been a while. But one of the a Supreme Court justice, I think it was involved in that case, said that if the courts or science or whatever defined life, I guess it would actually take the courts. If the courts defined life as beginning at conception, then that life would be constitutionally protected. So it wouldn't be a constitutional thing. Someone has to elevate the argument in a court of law that life begins at conception and take that all the way to the Supreme Court to be ruled under. And if the Supreme Court rules that life begins at conception, then the life of that unborn child is protected under all U.S. federal law. Which would be nice, but it wouldn't end the abortion problem. Because Brazil, abortion is illegal. They have more abortions than we do here. So, Carthage was Hannibal. Oh, okay. Yeah. Carthage. Yeah, did you know that Hannibal's older brother was actually sacrificed by his father to win a battle? A war? I guess probably just a battle. Yeah. That's how common it was. I mean, somebody that powerful, Hannibal's father, which was like a warlord, I guess, sacrificed his own kid. Which I guess if he didn't, we wouldn't even have heard about Hannibal, because it probably would have been his older brother who would have taken over for his dad, who would have been the one who invaded Rome. Anyways, Comrade Bernfried says, I see faiths, cults, religions more like a race for an unknown prize. If you are wrong or not will be shown to you after you crossed the finish line. That's Gosh, I feel like I have to do this again for every new reader or new listener. My faith is founded on fact. My faith is founded on the Bible as a religious document. I mean, not as a religious document, as a prophetic document. Hold on a second. Let me get back to that. Liam popped in for Australian $2. Why is it even a question? Life at conception is science. Yes, life at conception is science, but you get into the not life as in the objective literal definition. You get into the life definition. When does life begin? Which is this weird subjective theological philosophical question rather than the hard science question. Life begins here. Here's its definition. But that's not what people argue, is it? Nobody ever argues that. They argue life. When does life begin? I'm sorry to laugh about that. It's not funny, but yeah. So you know, comrade, the Bible proves itself as authored from outside of time and space through prophecy, through medical and scientific foreknowledge. Some of the stuff I was mentioning before about the the clay pots, like the Bible says that, hey, if you cook meat in a clay pot, earthenware, obviously the Jews didn't do enameling and stuff like that. Then you break it after the fact because it's a petri dish, right? But it says that if you cook meat in a metal or a brazen, which means bronze, um, pot, then you must wash that pot under running water until it's clean. Total common sense stuff to us, right? Because we live in the 21st century. We know about bacteria. We know about mold. We know about all this disgusting stuff that can make us sick or kill us. But this was written 3,500 years ago in the desert, coming from Egypt, who did not have these laws at all. Egypt had these bizarre laws, like not laws, but like medical rules, like if you get a cut or you get a boil, a festering boil, you smear human feces on it. They found these ancient Egyptian medical documents of what you do. So gross. You rub human feces in it. That should take care of the problem. No, we know better than that in the 21st century, but they didn't know better than that 3,500 years ago. But the authorship of the Bible, Moses, having been educated in Egypt, so he should have known that you rub feces into your cuts and whatnot. No. He goes out to the desert and writes this tome of health rituals, none of which are bad for you, all of which are absolutely healthy for you. You don't eat shellfish, you don't eat pork, you cut the fat off of your meat, so you are only eating lean meat. The fat's the best part. The fat is the most delicious part of meat, is when you cut a big piece of meat and it's got like a third of it is fat, or maybe a quarter of it. You pop that in your mouth. That is the best, right? No. The Bible says you cut all that fat off and you burn it to God. You only eat the lean meat. There's 316 laws in Leviticus, I think 315, something like that, and none of them are contradicted by modern science, modern medicine, anything. Heck, circumcision, right? They discovered last century that Jewish women don't get cervical cancer. Why is that? Oh, because Jewish men are circumcised. Weird. right? Here's another question. A baby's immune system reaches a peak on the 8th day of its life, right? Oddly, what day does the Bible say that you're supposed to circumcise your baby? The 8th day. Coincidence? There's a ton of stuff like that in there, dude. I studied this thing for over 20 years. I'm not even mentioning the prophecy. The prophecy is just nailing the coffin shut on the argument that there's no way to know for sure if the Bible is authentically written from outside of time and space. So no, I don't agree with and I'll agree with you on every other religion, because every other religion is also a works righteousness religion. So you won't know until you're dead, even according to those religions, whether or not following those religions, working your way into heaven worked. Only through Christianity can you accept the divine gift of salvation from Jesus Christ through his sacrifice by the grace of God and enter into heaven, not of your own volition or not of your own works, but only by the grace of God, by accepting his gift. Only religion on planet Earth like that. So no, I disagree. But I'll let you do your own research. I've only been researching it for 2 decades. So yes, Celts kept the heads of soldiers they conquered and respected. Oh, that's nice. What's up, Devin Gran? They slayed the Etruscans. Gizmo is agnostic. I was there, buddy. 20 something years ago. Yes, Celts did have human sacrifice. I think they started burning man away before California. Burning man inside a Burning Man wooden statue, raised as Catholic, as many agnostics were. My dad was just such a case. That's why I was raised agnostic, because my dad was raised Catholic, and he gave that up for agnosticism. Isn't abortion a practice of human sacrifice? You know, you could make the argument you're sacrificing the life of a human child to the altar of sex, to the altar of convenience, right? Oh, it'd be so convenient to have a baby right now. I shall just kill it. Away with you. 99, probably 0.99% of abortions are just convenience. Oh, a baby does not fit into my plans. So yeah, their God is convenience. It's sad. Sorry, this makes me sad. I don't want to eat. Very thankful for confiscate community. Abortion is not an act of sacrifice unless the aborted is presented as an offering, like Planned Parenthood. Oof. Well, this stream is definitely going to be demonetized. You're probably only allowed to say abortion once. Conrad says, regarding human sacrifice, thank you. We Germans had human sacrifices. Strangely, most of them went on their own free will there, right? At least that's what science found out. Gods weren't amused. They went on their own free will because it was culturally norm, right? If you go, sacrifice yourself to some pagan god, it's because you have been culturally normalized to the concept of it. Again, going back to culture erases conscience. Yeah. Let's see where we are, because we got about 5 minutes left. All right. Liam says, you would follow the Bible if you thought it was evil because God commands obedience. So if God says something, you should obey even if you morally disagree, right? Well, no, if you follow the Bible, then you understand that God's will is good, and the opposite of God's will is evil. So if the Bible commands obedience, it is commanding obedience against evil. Whether or not you, in your subjective perspective, disagree, that makes, if you disagree with the Bible, your disagreement is evil, right? I mean, by the definition of God being goodness and God dictating what is right and wrong, if you disagree with God, you are wrong. If you're the kind of Christian who says, well, I believe everything in the Bible that I agree with, but everything I disagree with is clearly wrong, then you are putting yourself on a pedestal above God himself, thus making yourself your own God, because you're telling God he's wrong. I remember an angel who did that once. What was his name? Musical dude. I'll let you think about that one. Watchman for You says read Romans chapter 1. Please do. I love Romans. Let's see. Watchman for You. The word is our guide, a lamp unto our feet. Here, faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. Yes. Yes, yes. All right, let's skip down to the bottom since I'm almost out here. Well, that is one issue, but a woman has a constitutional right to bodily integrity, meaning there is little anyone can do legally to prevent the pregnant woman from abusing or aborting life in her womb. Well, suicide is illegal. So what do you do with that? Bodily integrity. A woman doesn't have a right to chop her own arm off. I mean, she could do it, and they're not going to do anything about it, except throw her in a freaking mental ward, right? You chop your own arm off, they're going to consider that you have a severe mental incapacity to understand right from wrong. But you cut a baby out of your womb? Culture says that's fine. That's just dandy. WK, being a former fetus, I take abortion personally. As do I, my friend, as do I. I have other reasons, which I'm not going to get into. African-American babies. 1 out of 3 African-American babies conceived since Roe versus Wade have been aborted. How is this not ethnic cleansing? Hey, Margaret Sanger did her job well. She's probably upset that 2 out of 3 aren't African-American, because her whole concept in creating Planned Parenthood was to limit the growth of the African-American population. That's why she wanted them placed in inner cities and made available to Black Americans, because she was an outright eugenist, racist, freaking wretch. I can't use the words that come to my mind about what Margaret Sanger was as a. She was evil. She was evil. She was Satan's right-hand girl, his girl Friday. And you know what? She got those Planned Parenthoods out there, and now, yeah, 1 out of 3 African-American babies have died at her altar, the altar of Margaret Sanger's racism. Congratulations, America. You fell right into her trap. The courts can do that right now. The Supreme Court ruled it begins when the baby is viable outside the womb. Isn't that insanity? Isn't that insane? You can see babies in the womb reacting to stimuli. There's a video of the first sonogram recorded abortion called the silent scream, where the baby recoils from the abortionist tools trying to rip it apart, and then its little face screaming in pain in silence because there's no air in its lungs as it's ripped limb from limb and sucked out with a vacuum. And this is normal in our culture. This is the I know good, I know bad by my conscience. No, your conscience, so many people's consciences have simply been corrupted and destroyed by a culture that has taught us that good is evil and evil is good. Pray for America, man. Pray for America. I think that's probably an hour. Yeah, just over an hour. I hate to end on a down note. I am thankful for this nation, its flaws and all. Unfortunately, we are led by imperfect people, and we have imperfect people voting, making imperfect decisions. But all that withstanding, we are still the greatest nation on earth. So I am thankful for that. And yeah, please, if you guys have a chance, check out the Indiegogo. It is right there at the top of the description. And also, if you have any questions, wow, what a downer. Okay, next time, no abortion talk. We will just be talk about Christmas or something. I don't know. Let's get into a better subject next time. This really went down the rabbit hole. I apologize, and I don't apologize. The truth sometimes needs to be heard, even when it hurts. Even when I lose viewers doing it, the truth is more important than anyone gives it credit for. So, thank you for being here. New people, it's not always this depressing, so please do subscribe. Like it, hit that share button, let people know that we're here. Yeah, if I missed your question and you really want it answered first thing next show, then just after this ends, which is going to be in seconds, just go right down into that comment section and cut and paste what you wrote, or come up with whatever you want. And those are the ones that I always address first. So yeah, thank you for being here. I'll be back hopefully tomorrow with another cross-examinations, and I'm going to do some other videos today too as well. I'm not sure what yet. I do have a Joker drawing to finish. My brains. I apologize, my brains. All right, well, thanks everybody for being here. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Looking forward to a wonderful Christmas. I'll be in Japan this time next week. Woo, Tokyo Comic-Con. Peace out. Love to you all. Good day, good night, good morning. God bless.